It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do. But the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Plenty of takeaways from Yankees-Dodgers where LA sent the message on Saturday, and the only way the Yankees could salvage it was somehow beating Yamamoto, and they did.
You're staring a sweep in the face. And after losing the World Series, knowing what the opponent is, you know what the narrative would have been on Sunday night, Monday. Oh, the Yankees get swept by the Dodgers.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pitch, the players, the hustlers, the people, the bustlers, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Thursday Night Throwdown has begun on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. So we're in mid-June right now, and we're in the dog days of summer. There's really nothing going on in the sports world. Oh, yeah, except the NBA Finals, the Gold Cup, the FIFA Club World Cup, CFL football. All hell is broken loose outside of Dodger Stadium, Major League Baseball, and we've got a hell of a lot of stuff to break down on the program this evening. Let's start off with the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers look like they want to play another game. We'll see if the Oklahoma City Thunder have anything in their back pocket for the second half of a basketball game in which they've been throttled so far. We've talked a lot about the Oklahoma City Thunder. At home, they're dominant. When they go on the road, They can win on the road, but it's a battle for them, right? They're 5-4 straight up in the playoffs on the road, and they're 1-8 against the spread. They've only covered 1 point spread in the entire playoffs, right? And if you guys remember, I talked a lot about this with the Winnipeg Jets, but Connor Hellebuck didn't play well enough. But, you know, the Winnipeg Jets had home ice advantage in any series they would have played. And they pretty much won, like, every home game that they played, except for, like, you know, when it mattered, when it, you know, they could have went on the road. And Oklahoma City are doing the same thing that I thought the Jets might be able to pull off, right? You know, there's not a lot of margin room for error. You know, you can't lose many games at home, but Oklahoma City aren't that good on the road. Yet they are on the verge of winning an NBA championship. But, hey, we could have a Game 7, and I'm not surprised by this. We took the Pacers tonight. +3 in the first half. We're on the Pacers +6 in the basketball game. But we're also on the over of this basketball game. And we're going to need the Oklahoma City Thunder to step up. The second half has just started. 64-42 for the Indiana Pacers. A couple of seconds into the second half here right now. In-game point spread is 12.5. We've seen time and time again the Indiana Pacers went down by double-digit points. They battle back, and they can cover point spreads. You know, we've seen the Oklahoma City Thunder, when they get down, they kind of tap out and say, well, you know what, we've got a home game in our back pocket. I'm not so sure Oklahoma City are going to go on any runs. We're going to need them to if we have any hope in hell of getting the over. But I tell you what, that ship is starting to leave the port right now. Total's 210.5 in game. And in fact, it's getting low enough that I don't like double dipping on these things, but I might have to double dip tonight. And tonight's just one of those nights, man. Like, there's just so much going on right now. I mean, yeah, you can have a lot of screens, but I need to be in a sports book right now. Like, there's so many games going on. So we started off with the NBA Finals. Let's get some points here. And if this total keeps dropping, it's down to 209.5 right now. So we're already at 106 points. It's now 208.5. Let's let the it's like a stock. Let's let's not overreact. Let's see if it just dips down to 203.5 or something like that. And I'm going to jump on the in-game over here because I don't know like if Oklahoma City are going to be able to go on like a deep run, but I don't think they're going to quit. There still should be some points. And I think the Pacers are going to take the pedal off the metal. They can't take that chance, right? So. Now 206.5, as I stated. It just keeps dropping, man. You know why? Because nobody has scored yet. They've actually played like 2.5, nearly 3 minutes right now, and it's still scoreless in the third quarter. So the total just keeps plummeting. 205.5 right now. Wow. All right. Is this the time? Yeah, you know what? This is the time. They're not going to go scoreless in the third quarter here, right? This isn't a soccer game. All right, we're going to jump in here. We're here to bet, and you're tuning in for that. That's what the grid is about. All right, you're tuning in to bet, and you listen for suggestions. And if not, you can fade our suggestions. Although we're on a roll right now. We'll see if we're able to keep this thing going. Yeah, but my vibe tells me 205.5 feels 204.5 right now. Like at what point? They're going to score a basket soon and it's going to pop up. They still haven't scored yet, so it keeps plummeting. All right, we're jumping in right now. We're going in over 204.5. And we are in. All right, so there's the NBA game. We've got a ton of stuff going on, as I stated. Let's get to the baseball, actually. We got the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, there was big stuff outside of Dodger Stadium this morning. And people don't tune into this show for what's going on in the real world. And I have opinions on everything in this world, but I know people don't tune into this show for our opinions on these things. So this is just it's not a political or any sort of opinion. I'm just telling you the facts, right? And people take sides of everything right now. And just, the facts are basically ICE or Customs and Border Patrol were setting up shop at Dodger Stadium today and in the parking lots, and they were trying to get into Dodger Stadium earlier in the day. Homeland Security said, no, it wasn't us, but it was Customs and Border or whatever, dude. Like, you know what I mean? They're all wearing masks, so you can't tell who's who. But it's like out of a movie. It was like a standoff. Like, Dodger Stadium is private property, and the Dodgers refused them entry and basically called LAPD and said, like, you know what I mean? We have intruders. And LAPD, like, held the line. There was like a little mini confrontation with the LAPD and the federal enforcement agencies who have eventually left. But I tell you what, I got a feeling they're going to be back at Dodger Stadium. So I can't imagine the atmosphere in a stadium tonight for this game. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Obviously, you've probably seen it on the news. But as far as the game is concerned, the Dodgers are big favorites tonight. Yamamoto on the hill. They've been rolling San Diego all week here. And it's been a pretty, nasty. These two teams don't like each other, right? And it's real. And Dave Roberts even brought it up and said, we want to bury these guys right now if we can. So Yamamoto, minus 270 right now. All you can really do, if you want to play it on the run line, but San Diego are a pretty good team to be betting on run lines against. But I guess Dodgers are parlay material. Houston and the Athletics, I don't know. To me, it's just like, let's just keep on taking Houston every night. Houston are minus 140 right now. We do have the Dodgers in a parlay. But as anybody that's been following me online knows, we've been soccer heavy over the last couple of days, all week long with the FIFA Club World Cup. And Inter Miami becomes the first MLS team to beat a European club in a real game and not an exhibition game Inter Miami beats FC Porto today, and the legend of Messi continues to grow, right? A spectacular, brilliant, free kick, one for the ages. Put it, put it in the highlight reel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put it in the highlight reel. And for people like also, they say, oh, well, Messi does this in MLS. To show you the caliber of MLS, Messi and Inter Miami haven't even won anything in MLS. And they are really good, but they haven't won anything in MLS. But it's hard now. People can't really say this. And, people in Portugal right now are drinking the red wine because FC Porto just became the first European club to lose to an MLS team. Inter Miami beats FC Porto. Yeah, we got a massive upset in the making right now. PSG, Paris Saint-Germain are losing 1-0 to Botafogo, the Brazilian League champions. This game's being played at the Rose Bowl right now as we speak. Meanwhile, USA and Saudi Arabia are playing in Austin, Texas. We're scoreless at the half. Let's roll.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts, so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people to bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. It's the Thursday night throwdown. We've got a lot of stuff to break down. We've got a ton of games going on right now, including the NBA Finals, which, this is unbelievable. I took we talked about the in-game total, down to 204.5. I said, they're not going to go scoreless here. Guys, they've scored 4 points combined in 5 minutes. Like there was more goals in the Atletico Madrid game and Seattle Sounders in a 10-minute span. There's been points in a basketball game in 5 minutes. Like seriously, they scored like 3 goals in 6 minutes in the soccer game today. The two teams, the Sounders and Madrid, were going back and forth. Wow. And this game is a massacre right now. Oklahoma City goes into the room down big. Trophy in the building. We talked about it. You know, they're going to feel some pressure. It's always the toughest game. It's cliche, but it's true. So you guys are getting lit up in the first, 64-42. What do you do? What's your response coming out of the room in the third quarter? You've been shut out. You've been shut out. It's 6-0. You haven't scored a point. It's 70-42. And I think we can safely say that the Indiana Pacers are going back to Oklahoma City to play in a Game 7. Cam Stewart in the house. Cam, I know you were excited about the Pacers when I brought up that plus 950.
Damn right.
Wide open in the end zone. There we go. Touchdown, Montreal Alouettes.
I'll say one thing right now, quickly, like before we get to the basketball. Montreal's the best team in the CFL, and everyone's talking Calgary. Edmonton's the worst team in the CFL. So like they're awful. That offense is a train wreck. But anyway, I digress. Gabe, some books had the offshores. They even flashed a 12-1. I talked to Dave about it on In-Game Live. He goes, "It's ridiculous. Oklahoma should have been minus 650 series price before this game."
Yeah, but you know what, Cam? In the end, it really won't matter. Like, you know what I mean? The money line play today wasn't that big, right? Because they kind of knew this. Because put it this way. Or, you know, let's say you have this. Are you going to hedge? Yeah. Are you going to hedge? Because it'll cost you. It'll cost you. You know, they're going to be like minus 650 on the money line.
I know. But
minus 700. So you'll have to like bet. Like, you'd have to bet like $2,800 to win $400 back. Like, so it's not an easy hedge on the way out.
I understand your point, but at 12-1 and minus 650, that's a window. 9-1 and 650, you're right. Like, that's the whole thing, right? You're looking at the numbers game, and if you can get an offshore at that price, I still think, like, what do you think the line's going to be in the final game? Oklahoma City minus 8?
9.5.
Yeah,
8.5.
Yeah, maybe 9.5. So, yeah, it's going to be
like minus 6 in the minus to you know what, 550. I was going to say 550 money line, but you know, depending on the book. But I'll say like in between 650 and minus 700 on the money line for Game 7 for them.
Yeah.
So like, how do you hedge that? How do you hedge that? Well, you're going to lay $700 to win $100 back. You know what I mean? And then you start that, do the math. All right, $1,400 you're going to put in to get $200 back. Then it's just almost pointless. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Almost. No. Like, that's why you have to, like, we talked about this. I'm not a millionaire. You know what I mean? I got a mortgage. But if you have a lot of money and you're getting that number, that's just that's easy. You just look at it and go, I have this side for this much, and your take back in that window is huge. But your game, if you're only doing it for a couple $100, you're right. What are you going to do? Win a few bucks? Like, that's
and I know from experience, Cam, because I've done it where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll take this team and whatever. I'll hedge it if it's a big number. And I never do, because it's always the same thing. When they get there, you realize, man, unless the game is a pick'em, once in a while you'll sort of get these perfect storms where it's like you have a perfect opportunity to hedge something because you know the game is going to be a pick'em, and it's like a good example is I had the Edmonton Oilers guys at plus 400, and I kind of knew they were going to lose last night. Or whatever it was 2 nights ago. It's hard to even keep up with this stuff. I guess it was last night. So I knew they were going to lose. And it crossed my mind. I was like, you know what? I could just bail on this, bet on the Panthers tonight, and I'll end up making like $400 on this. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'll just let it go. Not that I don't care about $300 or $400 little profit, but that's the thing, though. Like, there's different ways of betting. Some people, guys, out there, they have no emotional attachment to anything, right? I do. So I'll get involved. Oh, I rode this team all the way through. They got one more game in them. There are some aggregate bettors out there that are simply just playing like a stock market, right? They see an opportunity. They see an opportunity to to basically play both sides, make money, and then not even watch the game and move on after. And there are, you can do it. And I know people that do it with even smaller bettors, and the math does add up, right? So there's different ways of approaching it. But as far as the Pacers are concerned, like we said, they're going to be the Thunder are going to be such big favorites on the money line. There'll be no way out of it, really. Like you'll just be stuck with the Pacers at the big number, which isn't a bad thing, right? And then the best thing you can do is you wait in game. Yep. And then you let the script play out, and there's a way to attack it in game after and save yourself.
Well, we talked about this too, Gabe. We go, if Indiana's going to win tonight, what does Oklahoma City do? Well, they come back and punch you in the mouth in the fourth. They're creating a nice little gap here, up 25 to hopefully not even be in that situation. Oklahoma City's looking ahead to Game 7 here. Like the Pacers, if I told you the Pacers were up 25 midway through the third quarter, you'd go, what? Like we just wanted them to win the first quarter, half. Money line, whatever. Like the fact that they're up 25 to me is shocking. I expected more from OKC.
The Thunder right now, though, if you're the Thunder, you can't quit. Even though, there's that thought, well, we're getting murdered right now. All right, it's 70-46, go on a little run, try to cut it to 15 or whatnot, but it's more so for the momentum. Even though there's not momentum, you don't want to be that gutless that it's like, oh, we're going to quit with 6 minutes left in the third quarter and then we'll win at home for sure. You've got to fight for some of this turf back. Like you've got to you see it all the time with football teams that are getting blown out. They want to score a touchdown late in the game just to put something positive up on the board. But this game's a freaking rout right now.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. The Thursday night throwdown, a very busy Thursday night throwdown, and hopefully we don't start any more wars right now with Saudi Arabia and the USA. But Buddy on the U.S. just drilled a dude on Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia are really not happy about it. Like the entire team's on the pitch right now, getting in the refs' faces This Gold Cup match is getting heated. The USA were massive favorites in this game. And yes and no, I sort of got it in a little, yes and no. It's like, yeah, okay, it's in the United States. They won 5-0 against Trinidad in their first game, Trinidad and Tobago. But no offense to Trinidad and Tobago, you know what I mean? That was kind of, it was a scrimmage for Team USA. Thing with the Saudis, number one, they have money, right? So anytime a program has money, you have to sort of look at them and go, all right, so they have top-tier coaching. The Saudi league, the soccer league, to put it in golf terms, a lot like LIV, right? There's a bunch of big-time players in the Saudi league that you sort of forget about. They're making a ton of money, and like literally, like some of these Saudi teams get like 200 people at their games, right? But these dudes that play on the Saudi national team are playing against the Ronaldos of the world and stuff. So there's a method to their madness. They're making their own players better. But so Saudi Arabia, generally, you'd say, man, they're a pretty good team. They're ranked 53rd in the world. FIFA rankings are kind of weird, but they're ranked 53rd in the world, which is pretty good. And you figure, all right, you know what I mean? They're big underdogs against USA. I was thinking when I first saw the number, I'm like, man, Saudi Arabia can win this game.
Yes.
And I was thinking, all right, maybe a draw. But the fact of the matter is, Saudi Arabia, this isn't their A team. It's Saudi Arabia's B team. Not really their B team, but they got a bunch of younger dudes playing for them. They made the decision with the FIFA Club World Cup going on right now, the team Al Hilal. Al Hilal is their stacked team in the Saudi league. So all the pros, like normally the pro players will leave the pro team and go play for the national team. But the Saudis, they want Al Hilal to look good here. So they told all the guys on Al Hilal, you stay with Al Hilal and you play in the FIFA Club World Cup, and we'll give the younger guys a chance to play in the Gold Cup. Right, so they don't have their top guys. They're missing like 5-6 guys, this team, Saudi Arabia. But even so, I took them plus 1.5 goals, minus 155. I'm on the under 3.5 in-game in this game. And quite frankly, I'm starting to regret not just pulling the trigger on the draw before, Cam. It was like plus 330. The draw is currently plus 125 right now. We're in the 52nd minute in Austin, Texas, and the game is still scoreless.
Great call. That was well explained, and I couldn't agree more. Thing is, Trinidad and Tobago, yeah, that's like Saudi Arabia can play. That's the whole thing, Gabe. You know that too. And you don't think they get up for a game against the United States of America? I can tell you, they're fired up. You're a young guy, you get into that lineup. So, yes, I think draw, even at this point, not the same number, but a very realistic scenario, and I like your total bet, too. It's either going to be 0-0 or 1-0 for somebody, in my opinion.
I have a Montreal Alouette money line under 3.5 in this game parlay. It's looking pretty good.
I love that. That parlay, I'd like to invest with. That one looks smooth. Like, that's the whole thing,
it's
right?
24-6 and 0-0. Nice combo.
That is a great combo.
We're 24-6 at the half. The USA are pressing here right now. They're in the box. But the Edmonton Elks had the ball in the red zone, and it looked like, all right, you know what, you'll probably get a field goal out of this. But no, the Alouette defense is that good. They picked them off in the end zone. So Edmonton got nothing at all going into the room, and their crowd is turning on them already. What few people are actually there, they're getting lit up. It's 24-6 at the half. Montreal get the ball to start the second half. The Alouettes are now minus 21.5. So it's 24-6 at the half. They're minus 21.5 point favorites. In-game total at the half here is 54.5. It closed at 48.5. So there's the updated number for the football game. I can't lay 21.5, and I'm not going to take 21.5. I did lay 10.5, Cam, in-game. I was already on the Alouettes minus the points. I got them in a bunch of money line parlays. Got the over. I got a 7-point teaser to the over. But then I did lay 10.5 in-game with them. But I can't lay 21.5. And I know you're on Edmonton plus 18.5.
Yeah, I'm worried about that bet now. The fact that they didn't get any points, I
would be too.
No, these guys are they're horrible. Let's call it out for a tough week.
You'll have to backdoor it. They'll have to backdoor it.
And I'm not. And know what the problem with the backdoor is? Montreal's a team that doesn't like getting backdoored. They like hit you, make you fumble, intercept you. That's the whole thing. They're not a team that's just going to play a loose defense. They're so damn good. The Alouettes are, man, they look awesome coming out of the gate.
I wish the Grey Cup was next week. I'd bet $25,000 on it.
we go at Oakmont, let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches. And it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say, yeah, I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, can we get our boy Matthias on the line here? Oh, Saudi Arabia just hit the effing crossbar. They just would have taken a 1-0 lead. They nearly, oh, God. But I'm not going to throw a private conversation that I had with Matthias under the, into the public domain here, but I will. He told me USA, we're going to roll Saudi Arabia like 3-4-1.
I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but he told me they're going to get murdered. And by the way, his tennis pick lost. You're the best, Gabe. Thanks for the tip.
I was like, I don't know. I responded, I don't know. You know what I mean? I said, I know that the Saudis don't have their top 5-6 guys, but I said they're still good enough to hang with the U.S. He goes, no, the U.S. are going to roll them tonight. You'll see, 3-4-1. But we love Matthias, and he does have some good picks. But he's a homer. You know what I mean? He likes Argentina and the United States. He's Argentinian American. Like that's who he pulls. He pulls a trigger on. Can't wait for Alexi Lawless's tweets after this game if the U.S. don't win. And our boy George Kurtz is disgusted by the U.S.'s performance.
Yeah, he's like, you guys can't beat Saudi Arabia?
Can't believe this. 0-0 Saudi Arabia. It's ruined George's barbecue. He's like, son of a bitch. I've been watching, looking forward to the game all day. I tell you what, though, George, the USA soccer team and the New York Yankees have a lot in common. They can't score.
Can't score? I'm just taking notes to self. No more private conversations with Gabe.
No more private.
I got to make sure.
I wasn't private. I just throwing his pick under the bus.
We used to see us on Monday Night Football. We throw him under the bus all the time. So, yeah. But, yeah, Gabe, I don't know what your take is, though. When you're a smaller – that's the whole thing about the USA. When you're a good team, how many of those other countries go, wow, we're playing the U.S. tonight? They're not – they'll go through.
Oh, you are right. Some of them, it doesn't really matter. If it's, Trinidad and Tobago, it's they want to beat the U.S., but they still can't beat them. But you are right about something. And you always got to remember this. Anytime, Cam, imagine. You got a Middle East team, bro. It's just different.
It is.
And the Saudi kingdom's not going to tell people publicly, but I guarantee you, these guys are all going to get brand new Bentleys if they win this game privately when they get back home.
Be jewels and
they'll be like, good
envelopes.
job. You didn't win the tournament, but you beat USA.
Exactly.
They're going to be like, here's the keys to a new Ferrari, everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, these guys have money. Like there's bonuses everywhere.
And unlike though, and they won't torture you either if they lose. Like so, that's the difference. Like Iraq used to be the worst. Like it's a true story, Kurtz. Iraq under Saddam Hussein, he didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but he was a psychopath, and he was upset at the soccer team, so he forced the soccer team to kick rocks instead of a soccer ball barefoot. So they take volleyball seriously. The volleyball team underachieved Cam. They're all like tall dudes on a volleyball team. He put them in like a cross space so they couldn't stand up, like for like months as punishment type thing.
I got to tell you something. I wouldn't want to piss this guy. That's torture. Like that's not even jail. That's like Chinese.
Why would you want to
torture.
play for the team?
Yes,
Like, be like, I'm not playing for this team. Like, you know what I mean?
Dude, I'll tell you,
you don't
one
have a
thing I
choice because they know you're good, so you got to play.
And you can't escape.
You got to suck at the tryouts. You're like, no, I'm no good, man. I can't play. I'm not playing with you.
Kicking, that's the best. What was your punishment? You duck
kicking cement soccer balls. That's the punishment.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people think, oh, Bobby Knight's hard because he yells at you.
Yeah, good point. Kicking rocks. No thanks. What a psycho. That's crazy.
All right. So George Kurtz with us. George, I have a couple of things I want to throw at you here.
He's like looking at us like we're
you
insane.
saw the Nick Castellanos got benched the other day. Did you see that, Kurtz?
I did see
the
that,
USA
yeah.
breaks through. They score 1-0 USA.
Just like the Yankees scored today. Look at that.
They're on the board. 1-0. So I was going to ask you, though. So he got benched because the manager said he didn't like the way he talked to him. Said it was way out of you. He got mad and he was way out of control and it was disrespectful. So he benched him. Is he a malcontent?
No, not for one episode. I'd like to know what he said.
You're still holding this back from the
I'm going back a couple of
God,
days.
you're a spiteful person. I bet it
Is he a malcontent? No, I'm just saying. Like, I know I can't help but think. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine if Devers did that, though. I'm just saying, George. Imagine if Devers mouthed off to the manager, didn't like this. People would be killing the guy.
I love it, man.
People are killing the guy anyway. His teammates are not backing him up here. I mean, as far as Devers is concerned, no one's saying, "Oh, I wish he would have stayed." I mean, they seem to be kind of glad he's gone. Listen, I think
who said that?
Devers trade, they're not putting names to it. We
God. Well, so like,
unnamed sources. Never a fan.
You're not going to hear any player put a name to it. That would be, that would never happen, right? He couldn't go into any other clubhouse ever. So they'll never put a name to it. Listen, the trade overall is bad for the immediate, good for the future. All right. I don't think Devers is going to age well there. He's not in the greatest of shape here. But in the immediate, I mean, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. Was it Kershaw called him a top 10 hitter in baseball? That sounds about right. So good for the Giants. They finally get somebody they've been trying for a couple of years. They finally get that guy. But I thought the greatest thing was that I'll play any way you want me to play. That was just a great FU to Boston. All right. So listen, he does make the Giants better. I don't think there's any doubt he makes the Giants better, and the Red Sox are going to be worse off in the immediate future. Give it a couple of years, they're probably very happy they got rid of that contract.
Now, for people tuning in, I just want to say, in sports, all the time, whenever a player gets traded and the organization knows that they're going to look bad in it and their fans aren't going to be happy about it, they'll always leak things to the media and try to spin it into their own narrative. And we saw it with Luka and Dallas guys, right? Luka and Dallas brought him to the effing finals last year. He was the face of the franchise, one of the best players in the NBA. And according to the Dallas Mavericks, this guy drinks more than Andy Cap did, right? This guy's and he's in worse shape than, Chris Farley was. They're like, oh, he's fat. He was out of shape. Yeah. He was drunk all the time. He always smelled like alcohol. And, right? And I don't know, you didn't say that when he was taken to the finals, right? And you see now he's all ripped and stuff because you pissed him off by saying all this stuff publicly about him. But I'm just stating the Boston Red Sox guys and the Celtics, they're famously known. Boston is the most mean-spirited, they will savage you to death on the way out. You're the worst person in the world and, you were terrible in the clubhouse. And you know, you get it in most teams, but the Boston, I'm just saying, it's the Boston, the old Boston screw job. It's true. Like, they pile on in Boston. And speaking of piling on, the Pacers are up by 30, Cam, 90-60 after 3 quarters of play.
I am absolutely loving this. It makes me happy because I rode the Oilers till the end and I didn't get off the ship.
What a gutless performance by Oklahoma City.
And this is another thing. I don't care you got a 12 or the 1 ticket in your back pocket.
Well, you don't care. Maybe your hedge is getting a little better here. I see the Thunder down to minus 350 to win the series now. Well,
I want you to keep on talking like that because I'm not a banker, but I want to say this too.
Oh, it becomes more feasible now. Now if you put 1,000, you're getting 333 back. Sort of like you're getting a little bit more, a little better now. You know?
I like your bank. I just left TD for you, and I got to tell you something else. I don't care about whatever. They're going to be 8.5, 9.5 point favorites. We know that. You put in this type of performance right now, that's bad for business. It gives Indiana confidence.
Well, they're playing so poorly right now, you're getting a better number because even the book is like, dear God, these guys are terrible.
And another thing is, Gabe, Indiana's going to have some confidence. Say, look what we did to them last game. Can we just do it on the road? Can we get up early? Can we make the crowd nervous? It's easier said than done, but Oklahoma City looks like junk tonight. They look tight.
Terrible. Terrible. 90-62. Fourth quarter just started. So we'll keep our eye on this train wreck of a game. We'll keep our eye on the numbers as it moves. The second half just started in the CFL, and we'll keep our eye on the soccer.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. We got SportsRage Late Night with Gabe Morency right now. And another thing about this basketball game before we get Gabe back, all the stars of Oklahoma City, they're not going to risk an injury with SGA and all the other stars on their team and everybody. Like, he's got the scrubs in right now, and Indiana is up 93-62 in this game right now. It's absolutely nuts. George, baseball board, you got anything going on? I was watching a little bit of that Orioles-Ray game. The Athletics are beating the Astros 2-0. They're minus 290 live. total 8.5. We got the Dodgers and the Padres. If you like the Dodgers right now, down 1 minus 155 on my FanDuel account. Padres up 1-0 there, total 7.5. Anything for you on the baseball board, George?
Yeah, but it's the wrong way, right? I'm on Houston and the over in this game. I'm on the over in most games in Sacramento, and I'm on the Dodgers money line tonight as well here. So we need some runs here. I've also got a couple of props on my Dodgers. Pretty much played the Gabriel Morency special. I've taken a couple of Dodgers to get over there, over a base and a half here. So we need some doubles, singles, home runs, whatever. So need some hits. Played that same thing last night. None of it hit. I think Pius was the only guy who got that for me last night. So we need some Dodgers start hitting the ball here, Cam, and same thing with the Houston Astros.
Yeah, scoreless. I'm actually surprised. Like, I'll tell you something, George. Like, remember that time when I went up to you? I forget what it was, and I was like, "Oh, don't worry, George. Don't worry. The A's will be okay." And I'm like, "No, they're not. They're not." I didn't want to make like lemon your pick there or whatever, but they're a weird team. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, they tend to be in these games, George. And you saw the other night, right? It was like down 1 run, and next thing you know, it's 7 runs. Like, they're relief, and it's awful. Like that's one of the things. Like. For betting purposes, like when I'm watching an Arizona Diamondback game, if they're up, I'll bet against them purely because you've seen the injuries with the rotation and it's affected their bullpen. Like look at the bit Jays did. Barger walked them off. You're getting these guys at plus 390. You know what I mean? With even like a guy on base, and it's because it's in the 9th inning. You know what I'm saying, George? So is that what you're doing with the Athletics too? Like you try to pick on these guys when they're close in games, and they've been a massive fade in game, like the D-backs.
Remember when you and I did weekend wagers back forever ago?
I miss you, George, on weekend wagers. We had some good times, but I remember the one night we were on. I forget who it was. We bet a game. I don't know, and I never bet on Tom Brady. It was that game where the Saints beat these guys 30. We lost like every time. That was actually a disaster, but we had
was
some
the
good
saddest
times.
night ever.
Yeah,
that Sunday night football game was watching Cam and I lose bet after bet after bet. It had to be the saddest TV ever on SportsGrid. It was like
I never bet on Tom Brady, Gabe, and I did that night, and the Saints beat him like 34-0. It was the worst.
It was sad.
You could do that nightly on SportsGrid. You can watch
Yes,
Cam
you
lose
can.
bet after bet. Like it's not like a special occasion.
Hey, who the hell is this guy? That's a little below the belt there. I'm doing pretty good tonight.
I'm just saying, like, it's not
Actually,
that
you're
unique
right.
of a night.
Oh, consistently, yes. If you tune in, we're gonna have a lot of losers for you. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm a lemon for sure. Yeah.
Not that unique of a night. So I don't know. Weird stuff. I've had weird stuff been happening to me all day. My mic just sort of we lost our audio for a second, but so the Stanley Cup ended last night. I guess it's hard to keep up with when these games are. But we still have hockey going on. Abbotsford and Charlotte, George. Some AHL hockey for you. You got to expand your palate a little bit. You can't just watch Yankee games every day all summer.
Listen, you want to know what a weird day today was? I'm on the golf course with my brother and a friend of ours, and we're all gamblers. All right, my brother's a crazy gambler. He'll have literally 50 bets a day, all $5, $10 bets. Can't win that way, but he I guess he's everything. And
that's
my
weird.
friend he's more of a big time gambler. He's retired, he's got money, he's gambling. But we're on the golf course, and for whatever reason, none of us can get through to the accounts. So we couldn't bet. And we were there from 9 o'clock in the morning. Usually you can, but none of us can make any bets. It was infuriating, but it was probably a good thing for me because I would have bet against the Yankees again. They were streaking bad. I've been betting against as far as their under total, the game under total, and betting on their opposing team. So those 3 bets I would have lost. There were some bets I would have hit as well. I don't know how it would have worked out in the end. I would have had a bunch of bets here, but I said we were very angry. I don't think we just don't understand why we couldn't get through to the site there on the golf course. I wasn't golfing in the middle of the moon here. It was only about 2 miles away from the house. So it was a frustrating afternoon.
I can tell you, too, I'm not the only one. I thought maybe it was me, but I had problems with a sports book tonight, and somebody sent me a direct message and told me I'm having a hard time right now. I don't know if it's an overall network situation or there's I can't imagine everybody's betting Saudi Arabia and the U.S. So I don't know why all these sports books were overwhelmed today, but that's an interesting story, George. I heard that a lot today. San Diego up 1-0 on the Dodgers. Bottom of the 3rd inning right now. L.A. are now minus 160. San Diego plus 130. And the Athletics are up 2-0 on the Stros. Bottom of the 3rd inning. The Astros are now plus 220. Athletics minus 290. Total 7.5. Total 6.5 in LA. Shohei Ohtani is up right now. George, in-game bets or thoughts? What do you think?
I already got a few bets on this game. I'm a Dodgers here on the money line. I did one of your bets here where you took like 3 Dodgers and hope they get the total bases here. I want a better price before I go back in. There's 2 outs here. Ohtani's up. Assuming he doesn't hit a home run, I wonder if we can get a better price with the Padres coming
singles.
You're a little shocking. You're a little bit ahead of me here. So now I may not get that price that I want to get. They score a run here. Still going to wait it out and see if we get a better price to go back in here. But Ohtani is one of my guys tonight, so I need another hit here, right? I need another base for Ohtani to cash that hit. I'm on Ohtani. I'm on Freeman, Muncy, and Will Smith.
Wow, 4-pack.
You know, there's always the different sort of swag in the golf world, as Cam knows. Our boy Feinberg's always talking about it. Likes to bet on players that have babies. I don't really get it. I think it's more of a negative than a positive from a winning standpoint.
I don't think there's any calculation that could defend that point, because what are you going to do? A baby's going wow, wow. You got to hire a nanny. The guy, obviously, Scheffler's not going to be there 24 hours with a kid crying in his face when he's got a tournament, but somebody's got to do it. Yeah.
Will Zalatoris was lighting it up on the tour. Skinny kid, but he was lighting it up. Got married. I don't think he's won since.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
I called it at the time.
Up those statistics. Single players.
Man, I hope my show doesn't go down the drain.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So we've got a big upset in the making here, and this is something that for those of you that are following me on X this week, you probably just think I became a soccer reporter because I'm posting all day about different soccer, but I'm not just betting on the games. I'm telling you like the backstory and like the different angles to this stuff. And oh boy, is Davis Alexander hurt? The Montreal Alouette quarterback. He's not getting up right now. He's down. All right, we'll keep our eye on this, but we brought this up as far as the payment is concerned in this tournament, and the teams that are going to be desperate and and not just desperate because of the money, but that are felt undervalued. And here we go, man. This is the 6th game combined for either a Brazilian or an Argentinian team. They still haven't lost a game in this tournament. And this is pretty big because before it's like, yeah, well, they beat this team and they beat that team, or they tied this team only. Well, now they're about to beat PSG. It's 1-0 right now, as Botafogo is winning 1-0 over PSG in the 90th minute at the Rose Bowl, which I've been doing pretty well today on the pitch, but this one I'm getting pitchforked. And then you got Saudi Arabia and the USA. USA are up 1-0 right now in the 81st minute. And I got Saudi Arabia plus 1.5 and under 3.5. So we'll see what plays out
What was the
here.
Brazilian team on the money line? What was their money line instead of draw, like for them to beat PSG?
They were like plus 350, plus 450 type thing.
Yeah, some
PSG were like
minus
minus 600. Like they weren't massive. Yeah. They were like minus 500 on the money line actually.
Well, I know a guy that
-500.
Gabe. I don't know how he knew this. He's like I talked to a guy in the neighborhood, big soccer guy, and he said the PSG is going to lose. Like he put like 500. This guy's like a heavy hitter. He put 500 on the other team. I'm like, you serious? So that's a nice. Yeah, that money line kind of tells you something, right? Like they have a chance in this game. It's not like it's minus 1,000, minus 1,000.
No, this team.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
This team is
they're live.
They're the Brazilian. They won the Brazilian League Championship last year, so they're a good team. All right, I want to get to this best of X while Kurtz is here. Let's do 2 of them before we get Kurtz out of here. Let's start off with the Adrian Peterson fight last night in Houston, Texas. It's Adrian Peterson. I've said this before. Adrian Peterson feels to me like, I don't know if he's going to end up like OJ or something, but progressively, like every time there's a story and it's like former NFL player does this, right away I just think, what did Adrian Peterson do?
Yep.
Right? And here we go again with Adrian Peterson. This is from last night in Houston at a poker game. A couple F-bombs. We had to kill the audio there. All right, wait. What do we see in the background there? Hey, look, SportsGrid.
Hey, it's us. Hey, the poker room. Good for us.
So they're watching in the poker room. We got some love today, SportsGrid, because Adrian Peterson got in a fight. And look,
this guy.
There's SportsGrid, and now he's starting to throw here. He's getting out of hand in the poker room last night in H-Town. See, there's SportsGrid. There you go. Was that you like that, Kurt?
Some bare knuckle fighting on SportsGrid. Yeah,
some free publicity for SportsGrid. You like that, Kurtz?
That was fantastic. A little Donnie Wright side there, I believe, was who we saw there. All right, Adrian looked like he looked a little tired there throwing those right hands. I think he was holding well too. So I think I'm still betting on Adrian. I think from what we're seeing, he's going to win in a decision here.
That other guy's holding his own, though. Like, he's up. Adrian Peterson's crazy. Like, the guy's not backing down. He's there. Good for him.
No, the other guy's still going.
Yeah, the other guy's like, I'm not see.
He's going back.
Yeah, a nice one in there. I like this guy. Like, you're fighting Adrian Peterson, man. Like, that guy's holding his own.
Yeah, but as you see, it goes on. Adrian Peterson starts.
I would say Adrian Peterson's at like minus 2,000. Like, yeah, he's a huge favorite in this fight versus Joe Poker guy. But why is Peterson beating up regular citizens? Like, this is like, what are you doing here?
I'd like to know what the argument was about. Whatever poker. Do you think the guy was cheating or something like that? Or the guy called him out? I'd like to know what was going on.
Poker players online seem to be blaming and saying AP's not to blame, but they would have done the same. But I don't know what the violation was. All right, we got to be quick on this one. What's this sandwich here? We got this French fry sandwich they're rolling out here. Do we have this one, Tommy? All right, yeah, here we go. Look at this one. What the hell is this?
Ooh. It's on
Cam's intrigued. French fries with ketchup and white bread. Like, what the hell are we doing here?
I went down to the gyro shop the other day, and
why not just have the French fries? I don't need the white bread over it.
Exactly. Why the hell do you put Wonder Bread on French fries? We already got enough start. Like, what are these guys doing? Like, that was awful. That's a
they probably charge a lot for it too.
Yeah.
Stupid idiots.
go at Oakmont, let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. Being asked, hey, how come you didn't show the Connor? Because I didn't show the Connor video because SportsGrid wasn't in the background of the Connor video.
Exactly.
That's number
well
one
played,
reason
Morency.
why.
Well played. Yeah, I forgot that story you told me where he went like, the guy's like, hey, Connor, your whiskey sucks, and bam, it's like, dude.
No, you didn't even call him out. Conor McGregor, Kiev O'Neill joins us, and Kiev's a UFC guy. Connor walked into a bar in Ireland and was all hammered, and he was being friendly to everyone. And he said, shots for everybody. But it was his proper 12 whiskey stuff. And there was like an old dude sitting at the bar, and he goes, no offense, but I'll drink my own whiskey. And Connor sort of said something back to him, and he said, you don't like my whiskey? And the guy told him, no, I think it's terrible. And Connor just wailed off and punched him.
I'm with the old guy.
Like 80 years old, too. It's an old guy sitting at the bar. Connor pops.
He likes his. You don't go to old guys and mess with their whiskey game. That's rule number one. They drink what they want.
Especially in Ireland, too. Some Irish guy doesn't want to drink your commercial stuff, bro.
They had a tasting of proper 12 at the liquor store by me, so I tried it. It's not good at all. I'm with the old guy. His product stinks.
Be careful. He's going to punch you, too.
Oh, I don't need that. Well, thank you. Got enough problems.
But it was too easy. Like when you do that, it was like low-hanging fruit, like I said, Kim. Oh, that's the first time he's knocked someone out in 10 years. It's the first fight he's won. Yes. And all that stuff. All right. Is Kiev ready to go, or is he good?
Yeah, I'm ready. It said it was in Ibiza. This fight was in Ibiza. Okay, that was in Spain. Okay.
Ibiza, Spain is like the island for the rich and the famous.
Yeah, a lot of debauchery.
Party island. Yeah, the whole Ibiza thing. I've done some research. I never made it there myself. Maybe 20 so years ago. I'd enjoy it.
Better start winning a lot of bets.
It's pretty. I was there for 2 days.
Costly.
I'm broke. Yeah, it's expensive. Very expensive.
It's a costly place. So 1-0 for USA. Man, we got the coach of Saudi Arabia is freaking losing it right now. I don't know what happened. There's always something in soccer, right? But we got a 1-0 game with 7 minutes left. And every week Kiev joins us. So the last couple of weeks, the last 2 Thursdays, there's been big drama and crazy stuff has happened, either in the hockey or the basketball. And I was thinking tonight, I almost set it up. It was like, all right, he's coming on at 11. The basketball game will be like 5 minutes left. And maybe the same thing will happen, but not tonight, bro. We got a 105-82 game. Are you surprised by this? What did you do with the game tonight?
Well, I definitely took the Pacers. And that's really been my bread and butter throughout the whole playoffs, as we discussed before. The thing with Pacers, though, last two games, we had those covered until we did it, man. I mean, the 6.5 and the 9.5, that was tough beats at the end, especially how the Pacers, kind of gave that game away. But the NBA, they're making money when this thing goes 7. I almost feel like Oklahoma City kind of didn't show up today a little bit, and the Pacers weren't going to lose today. They're going to put on a show in front of their fans, and the whole Halliburton thing. I think the injury a little bit overblown, and the truth is, like, I felt pretty good if he didn't even play anyway, because he wasn't playing well. Siakam would have got more shots, so I was okay with taking the points today and a little bit on the money line. I'm glad the money line came through. The big question is, what's the spread going to be for the next game? Probably 9.5, 10, right? The whole zigzag thing, the whole Oklahoma City and 7. No surprise to me. I haven't made a decision on what I want to do. It almost feels like the league really wants Oklahoma City to hoist that trophy. I'm going to see when that line comes out. Anything above
You're waiting
10.
for Scott Foster to come out for Game 7.
Guys, I have a line already, and the spread. There's a big discrepancy between spread and money line. Remember we talked about it, Gabe? It's 8.5. Guess what Oklahoma City is on money line on FanDuel? They already posted it.
Minus 450.
350.
Minus 350. Oh, all right. So that's what it is at Bet3. So that's what it's been for the last quarter. So they've just assumed it's locked in. So the new price: Oklahoma City minus 350, Pacers plus 260. Right now to win the championship. The one thing that surprised me, Kiev, though, tonight, and I was on the Pacers plus the points in the first half, plus 3 in the first, and plus 6 in the first, plus 6 for the game as well. I'm going to lose the over, though, which I'm disappointed about, but I am shocked. I'm not surprised Oklahoma City were nervous or they were flat or whatever tonight. That doesn't shock me. I am shocked, bro, that they scored as little points as they did. 25 in the first, 17 in the second, 18 in the third. Bro, they're down 64-42 at the half, Kiev. They come out of the room. They don't score a basket for the first 6 minutes. Like, they get shut out like that. Like, they really, 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 like, that was like a gutless performance by them tonight, which might be good for them because they'll be steaming on the plane going back home now.
Exactly. And it's like, what if you play down to the wire and lose a game by 2 points and you're gassed? I'm sure they're going to have a few days off. Don't get me wrong. That's how the NBA finals are.
When did they play? August 1st? How many days? Like a month and a half now?
August 1st.
I think November maybe. They'll get a few days off, but it's better this way, especially if they kind of felt like they mailed it in, which they did. Better for the ratings, better for money, and it's great for the NBA because, that's what they want. But at the same time, they're just going to come guns a-blaze, and it's going to be like 2 different teams that you've seen, and the Pacers are going to get stuck down 10, 15 points in the first half. I'd say first quarter, Oklahoma City Thunder minus 3, minus 4, whatever it is. That's probably going to be a go-to bet for me in the next game.
For the record, guys, all kidding aside, Game 7 of the NBA Finals is Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, Sunday night. And it's 108-87 right now with a little under a minute remaining. We're not even going to get our over 203.5 in-game that we hit, but we are all over the Pacers in this game. Meanwhile, the USA and Saudi Arabia, 1-0 USA right now. We're in the 95th minute. They added 7 minutes of extra time. And it's always, you never know what they're going to do with this extra time stuff. They might add another 5 minutes, and they might blow the whistle as soon as it hits 7 here. But we're in the 95th minute, 7 minutes of extra time. And we can tell you, I talked about this, guys, the Brazilian teams and the Argentinian teams in the FIFA Club World Cup, they still haven't lost the game yet. And pretty impressive run. Like, they're racking up the wins. They're getting draws. They haven't lost. And I thought tonight, all right, this will be the first one. You're not beating Paris Saint-Germain in the Rose Bowl tonight. And they did. We got a 1-0 final score. PSG gets shut out at the Rose Bowl by the Brazilian champs. Botafogo get it done tonight. That's sort of the first sort of like wow move of the tournament. The FIFA Club World Cup has been pretty lit so far, and the Gold Cup has been pretty entertaining too. So we'll keep our eye on these games. We'll get into some UFC on the other side with Kiev and Cam and Kiev, the College Baseball World Series, and then there were two. LSU was my pick, if you guys remember, plus 550. Yeah, except I'm not positive they're going to win right now. What do you think?
Carolina's hot.
Yeah,
They're
Cam.
hot.
Coastal Carolina won a championship in 2017. They could add another championship to their resume here. It'd be big.
Absolutely. LSU is the favorite team at minus 166. But, man, how hot is Coastal, just like you said? And what worried me about Coastal is what I mentioned, when we first started talking about the playoffs, is that their pitching is really good. They're coasting. They're feeling great. LSU kind of coming off a tough game, right? Against
more on the other side with Kiev O'Neal, Kevin Stewart. 1-0, 97th minute right now. USA hanging on.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Level 2 continues. This is SportsRage on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM, Channel 159, the station that Adrian Peterson watches when he beats people up playing poker. That should be our new promo for the network. There it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson.
Forget like get the edge and all this other stuff we have. Like that's the one.
Yeah. Adrian Peterson's favorite sports book.
SportsGrid.
When he fights poker guys.
Favorite network of poker rooms by badasses in Houston. There's the promo.
Awesome.
I was so good.
I swear to God, on an off-related note here, just for you wrestling fans, this is a crazy story. I had Chris Benoit on the show. And before, like, obviously, but it wasn't that much before. And I got, whatever. I got along with all these wrestlers. So I used to get them to do the cheesy radio promo type stuff. Hey, this is Bret Hart, and you're listening to SportsRage. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. And so I had Chris Benoit, and he actually did a promo. This is Chris Benoit. You better tune into SportsRage. I'm going to come to your house and get you. And, and I was like, wow, we had the promo after. And they deleted it all, like sensitively, they were like, we got to burn all these Benoit. You can never because I was like, man, I got these crazy Benoit promos, but him threatening people and stuff,
amazing. No, he just doesn't say or listen. I'm going to come to your house. It's like, okay,
he was like this.
Yeah.
He's like, vent your rage. He's like, I got rage. Yeah. Like he was like, I was like, whoa, hey, he was knocking them out of the park. These promos. But it was a quick promo story. 1-0 San Diego over LA right now. We're in the top of the 5th inning. They just made it 2, actually. They just broke through, so 2-0. 2-0 now. Top of 5. 2-0 Athletics over the Astros. Lower scoring game in Sacktown tonight. And speaking of baseball, so college baseball, the College Baseball World Series, as we were talking about, this Coastal Carolina team, man. This upstart team makes it all the way to the final here. And speaking of totals, we got an 8.5 in game 1 Saturday, June 21st, this Saturday. Coastal Carolina plus 135, LSU minus 165, total 8.5. How do you feel about this, Kiev, now that it's here?
I still like LSU, but I don't like betting them right now at minus 166. I think they're in a tricky spot here after that Arkansas back and forth. What a great game that was, by the way. Winning it in the ninth.
Gage Wood, no hitter. How about 19 strikeouts?
I know.
Would have been a perfect
awesome
game if he didn't hit somebody.
Right. I mean, I like LSU, but I could see them dropping, the first 5 innings in this game or more. I mean, they're in a letdown spot after beating Arkansas, in my opinion. I think Coastal's kind of just been resting and watching. They're the more rest team. They're going to be a little bit more prepared. I'm not going to bet them right now. I mean, I'm going to ride on the future that I have, just like you do and others. But, LSU is in a little trouble. I could see them dropping this one, but, I still like LSU just from the talent-wise, and I think they're more of a complete team than Coastal. I think their bats are better.
I'm not going to say it's a dynasty, but, it's a second championship in 3 years. It would be a pretty impressive feat by the LSU Tigers. So we got a touchdown in the football game. The Edmonton Elks, Trey Ford just scrambled for a touchdown, and the 2-point conversion is good. Watching the UFL, I haven't seen a successful 2-point conversion all year, Cam. I'm blown away. I'm like, what's that? UFL, they're going sixes, guys. Six. It's like, God, can you guys,
I don't watch as much as you, but I'm watching them. You're so right, Gabe. I'm watching games like, man, these guys, you're right. They never connect. Like, it's bad.
Like the scores, it's like rugby. It's like 12-6, 18-12.
Exactly,
Everything's like goes in sixes. But UFC this week, Kiev. What are your thoughts on the card with Hill and Roundtree as the main event? You like this fight?
I do like it to go to round 3. It's even money really on both sides. You had a bunch of money come in on Khalil when it opened because it was open that Jamahal Hill was the favorite, and then money came on Roundtree. The truth, what I see is these guys are both kind of fade candidates for me, and I've been fading Jamahal Hill the last few fights, and it's been really paying off. He's the bigger one. He's got the longer reach, but he's also probably got a little bit more of a suspect chin, but he does throw more volume than Roundtree. 7 significant strikes to 3.73 for Roundtree. I think these guys know it's 5 rounds. I don't think they're going to, jump in to try to get engaged so fast. I think they're just going to kind of telegraph a little bit, jab, stick, back up, sprawl. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to stay away from each other, and that's what they're going to do. They're not going to engage because they know once they do that, they're leaving themselves back out themselves, and that's what they're just waiting for. It's going to be a little bit of a toy. I like the over 2.5 at plus 100. You can get that. It's at plus 105 in some books right now, but I feel a little safer picking fight does start round 3 at minus 135, just because these guys can make some mistakes as well. I think the time the round 3 happens is when they start getting a little antsy, right?
Anything on the undercard you like? What do you think about the card? Man, you think this card was in Russia, man. A lot of Russians and Eastern Europeans on this card.
It might as well be Russia because it's a very corrupt place in Azerbaijan. And, you never know what these judges are going to be like. They could be paid off. I think some split decision stuff is interesting if you can grab it. Fiziev is fighting Ignacio Bahamondes, and Bahamondes is the much bigger guy. If this is in Vegas, I'm betting him all day. I still like Bahamondes, but it wouldn't shock me if it's a split decision. Fiziev is actually from this country, and that always makes you worry when you see some crazy round go to him that doesn't belong. I think this Curtis Blades fight is interesting against Rizvan Kuniev. I mean, Curtis Blades, you'd think he should beat the crap out of him, but Kuniev knows how to wrestle a little bit, and maybe he does not let Blades get on top of him like Blades has done in some of his other wins. Undercard, this is a tough one. I like Jun Young Park a little bit against Ismail Naduriev, and I think that Park is going to take care of business, and he's probably a pretty good parlay piece. If you can find one, someone to match him up with, maybe it's Blade, maybe it's Saidikov. I like Saidikov, Nazim Saidikov at minus 450. Parlay him with Jun Young Park, and you're going to get about minus 114. And I think that's a pretty safe bet from your undercard.
Great job, guys, getting it up there. Where can people find John Lima, man?
Check us out at theoddsbreakers.com. We always have great information and plays. Come to Vegas, visit us at the Circa Podcast Weekend. Get in the social media virus.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to back 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. Well, we said earlier, people in Montreal, hey, give us the Grey Cup right now. And me and Cam said, hey, listen, you're 2 weeks in. The Grey Cup is in the last Sunday of November, all right? We're in mid-June right now. A lot of stuff can happen. But my words, and I almost mushed them, I said, yeah, you know what? The Alouettes are so good, though. Like, if Davis Alexander gets hurt, McLeod Bethel Thompson comes in, and they still have a dominant defense, and Bethel Thompson, whatever's more experienced than Alexander is. But with that being stated, Alexander actually got hurt minutes after I said that. And, God, so he ends up getting hurt. And then Thompson has come in, and they're not really moving the ball. They're chipping away here, and they're comfortably winning the game. But it's sort of slowed down a little bit. So it's 31-14 right now. So we're up to 45. The teaser is hit, right? It was 48 with the teaser, over 41. The in-game total is 54.5. I got a 52.5 in-game, and I got a minus 10.5. That's what the Alouettes, that's what the highest number. For the record, they're 16.5 game. You got 18.5. They're down by 17 right now. So you're sort of right there with your 18.5. You're 6.5, 5.5. That's done.
Oh, I did not. I got to be honest with you, Gabe. I actually didn't bet it at the start. I'm like, I didn't like the number, and you and Babano convinced me last night. I'm like, if I'm betting Edmonton, I need double digits minimum. Like, I'm not that line was loose. You know how much better Montreal is. And by the way, Gabe, good point about Bethel Thompson. But one thing is, he'll eventually figure it out. It's kind of tough, right? Because it's Davis Alexander's team. He's a young guy. He got the reps, but he'll figure it out. It just might take a little while. Let's hope he's not hurt for real, because that would really hurt Montreal. He's a dual threat quarterback with a good arm and good legs.
Let's get some more points in this game. And then we'll worry about Davis's health. Let's worry about our health. Let's get some points.
Hey, you'll be all right. Score more.
Yes, exactly. All right. I hope you're all right. We got to get the over here. Get it in game over. They just threw you know what? The Edmonton Alex, I like their style. Trey Ford just threw the ball 60 yards through the air down the field. And they got called for pass interference, Montreal. It doesn't look like pass interference to me, to be honest, but I don't know if it'll stand. You can challenge this stuff in the CFL, but let's see if that actually is. Man, he heaved it down the field. Yeah, he sort of bumped into him a little bit. It's kind of a ticky-tack call, but it is 31-14, and they got to keep this thing rolling, and they got to entertain people on TV. If I was the Alouettes, I'd probably argue this, but we'll see if they do or not. And we'll see if the Alouettes are going to throw a challenge. So one thing with the CFL, it's a great league, and it's a very fast-paced league. But penalties take too long. And they've gotten a little better at it. No one's ever going to talk about this from an execution standpoint, but the referees in the CFL are actually pretty good. They used to be bad. They used to work at Canadian Tire during the week and then do the games on the weekend. Hey, what's up, Bob? Yeah, Bob from Bob from Home Hardware's here. You know what I mean? It's hey, Bob, how you doing? Hey, guys, I got to put my ref hat on. I got my whistle. They're pretty good, these guys now.
The old players, the guys postal worker.
See, they took it back. I told you. Yeah, they took it back. Yeah. I told you I was a weak call. They cancel it, and the Alouettes sacked them on the next play, and they fumble and recover the ball.
There it is. Well, my life changed pretty quick in 28 seconds.
Yeah, let's see what the number jumped to from that 16.5. The thing with they're a little slow in the CFL, the book. They froze it right now. They're freaked out by this. So, the Alouettes are out the football on the Edmonton 40-yard line right now. Baseball. 2-0 San Diego over Los Angeles, and 2-1 for the Athletics. The Astros have put a run on the board. Actually, Tommy, if we can, let's get this best of X in here right now. I think Cam will get a laugh out of this. Just for the record, so Connor McDavid did his end-of-year interview today with the Edmonton media, and he's going to be a free agent soon, and after next year. And they were asked, your contract, and he dropped at the end of it. Well, I got to do what's best for my family. And that's sort of what the hell does that mean? I'm thinking, what, tax-free state so you make more money for your family? Or is Connor McDavid going to shock the world,
go to the Leafs,
and return back to his own neck of the woods? Let's see. The Buffalo Sabres. Connor McDavid. Gotta love it. This is for our boy Tommy.
There you go, Tommy. You'll save the Sabres.
You won't hate him anymore, if he comes to Buffalo.
Yeah, screw the Oilers, eh?
For the record, Connor McDavid is not going to Buffalo, and there's no rumors he's going to Buffalo. It's just a funny gift that someone put him in a Buffalo Sabre jersey.
I liked it.
Now people are like, oh, if he wants to win, why would he go to the Leafs if he wants to win?
Settle down.
we go at Oakmont, let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches. And it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't. But, yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
Put another touchdown on the board. We'll take it. Always goals, touchdowns. Stuff happens. We're on a commercial break, but I don't mind because we need more points here. What are we at? We already got the over 48.5. I got the teaser home already. We're on the Alouettes. We laid 5.5. We laid 10.5. I got them in a million money line parlays. I got them a 7-point teaser. Although I will note they did screw me. I did have them parlayed with Paris Saint-Germain, a PSG, but I got a bunch of parlays. And in fact, I don't know, whatever. It's not about me, but I got a head start, Cam. I took the Montreal Alouettes parlayed with Benfica, minus 4.5 goals tomorrow.
When you
figure
mentioned
Benfica is going to win by 5 at least.
I'm going to the Portuguese Cafe tomorrow to watch the Benfica game. Gabe, you know how I roll. Can't wait. Great food, great times.
They're 6.5 goal favorites.
Oh, I know. Are they going to
cover? This team, this is the forklift goalie and stuff. They got a forklift driver and like the accountant. It says like stockbroker, accountant, football player. It doesn't even name the team like that he plays on. It's like footballer. It's like a weekend guy. I play football. I like to play football. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know, their goalie is literally like a forklift driver. Yeah. And get this, they fired him. He told them, listen, we made the FIFA Club World Cup. We're playing against Bayern Munich. And it turns out the goalie from Auckland, his favorite team is actually Bayern Munich. So, and he goes, it's my childhood favorite team. It's a dream. I'm playing against them. Can I get a couple of weeks off? And they said, no, if you leave, you're fired. And he goes, well, you know what? I'm going to go play anyway. So the guy doesn't even have a job now, Cam. He lost his job to go play in this tournament.
Yeah.
See, he'll get hired after as a folk hero, but you did lose 10-0 and you were the goalie. So you're probably not getting a great job. Like you get hired in a bar somewhere. Let's bring in.
He drives forklift. He can work anywhere.
Yeah. So I mean, like, a little bit of a folk here, but I tell you what, Benfica, you better roll these guys tomorrow. You're playing a bunch of forklift drivers, stockbrokers. You guys better win 8-0. You better win by 5. That's my parlay. And I got another parlay with the Alouettes and Bayern Munich to win tomorrow. But let's mix it up here a little bit. Aussie rules, AFL style, and we've had Craig on in the past. A Yank on footy, and our boy Mick Aussie, of course, is living the dream. Mick's in Belfast tonight. He's getting around.
Yeah.
Hopefully Mick doesn't get punched by Conor McGregor. Those two together, he would get punched, actually. I can see Conor. Get this guy away from me. Hey, mate, can I get a photo, mate? Can I do a video, mate? Connor's like,
You're so right.
Can I just see Connor swinging in a bar like,
Hey, mate. Hey, Connor, it's me, Mick.
He punches old men. You know that Connor would
Yeah.
punch Mick? Like, he'd be like, oh, dude, I'm so punching this guy. Like, but, yeah, Mick's having a great time. But, all right, Craig, so good to see you. We'll get down to business here. I'll ask you right now, who do you, from a future perspective, if someone wants to bet to who's going to win the championship, Collingwood are the favorites right now at plus 275. The Cats are plus 350. Western Bulldogs plus 750. The Lions, Brisbane plus 800. Hard to believe Mick's Adelaide Crows are actually the fifth choice here at 10-1. Who's the team to beat in your opinion, and for the bettors tuning in right now?
Well, I think that, first of all, I think the only bar Mick hasn't been into is an arm bar so far on this trip. But
I like the place in the last. He's taking pictures, Ken. The place in London. It's called the Dirty Onion. It's like a real dive bar called the Dirty Onion.
Dirty Onion. Yeah, Mick's kind of he likes bars. Yes.
I think if I had to choose a couple clubs, I think that they've got it spot on right now. You know, with the Magpies and the Cats as the top two sides. I mean, the Crows are playing very good football. They're a little susceptible defensively right now. Gold Coast is likely going to be playing finals for the first time in their dozen or so years. But, they got the Bulldogs ranked higher than other clubs. And right now the Bulldogs are sitting outside the 8. They're not even in the top 8 at this point in time. But they got their unicorn, Sam Darcy, back, who's this kid who's like 210 centimeters tall and is just a phenomenal forward. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch for the next decade.
We got a big-time game tonight. And you know what? We got a touchdown as well. There it is. Boom. We hit the over in game 52.5.
Is it Edmonton?
Touchdown, Edmonton, Cam.
Yes, give me my plus 18.5, friends.
They're down by 18 right now with 6 minutes left. Extra point pending. They'll probably go for 2 here, too, though. So,
I know. Good call. Good call. I need all the points I can get because you might kick a rouge and then I lose by the hook.
Yeah. You know what? They might go for an onside kick and give Montreal the ball at midfield. Like, it's time. And unlike the NFL, you don't have to ask permission. Could I please do an onside kick?
I know.
Like in the CFL, you do an onside kick. You know what I mean?
I'm giving you, honestly, that some of these rules in these sports, like that, Gabe, good call. Like you shouldn't have to tell anybody what you're doing. It's a sporting event. It's not a freaking court of law. Like, what are you talking about?
Now, guys, in the NFL, they change it. Craig's a Brown guy. They change it, Cam, this year. You're allowed to do, like last year, they moved it where it's like you're only allowed to do an onside kick in the fourth quarter if you're losing and you have to tell the other team. Now you can do it at any time of the game, whether you're winning or losing or not, but you still have to tell the other team. That's like bank robbers, like having to call the bank. We're going to rob the bank in half an hour. Get ready, and we'll see if we can do it. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah. Think about the logic in that.
It's a trick play. It's not we're going to tell you play.
Yes.
It's like,
thank you. God,
you imagine them in any other way? They said, "Oh, you got to tell us if you're going to throw or run the ball." It's like that's the stupidest rule ever. Like, so why would you agree with this? But sorry, that's a little tangent there, Craig. But so listen, the Geelong Cats, 18.5-point favorites tonight against Brisbane, and you just said Geelong are they're worthy co-favorites here, 10-4 on the season, but Brisbane are 9-4 on the season, and we're getting 18.5 points. Do you think this is going to be a close game?
I think it's going to be closer than that. I mean, the Cats are playing at home. The Cats are actually imitating the Penn State Nittany Lions with a whiteout for Patty Dangerfield's 350th game. They've laid out all the shirts on the seats right now. I do think the Cats are going to win it, but I don't think, you said 18.5. I don't think it's going to be that wide of a margin. I think it's going to be within a goal, no more than 2 goals in this situation here. So, it's, both of them are playing well. Brisbane has really struggled kicking the football lately. All
right. So we got Carlton and North Melbourne. Carlton 6-7, mid-tier team. The Roos, the Kangaroos, they're a terrible team. So the point spread is 25.5. What do you think about Carlton and North Melbourne?
Well, Batman is playing for Carlton, but Harry Mackay is not. So and the Roos have actually played pretty well the last 5 weeks. They had a draw against Brisbane, who's the defending premier. They've gone 2-2 the last 4 rounds. I actually think that the Roos are going to win this one outright.
Wow.
I think the Roos are actually going to beat Carlton this week.
Plus
Yeah,
290
so-
on the money line. I like that price.
So
It's amazing, though, Cam, how it doesn't correlate. Like North Melbourne are plus 25.5-point underdogs, but I'm only getting plus 320 on the money line.
Exactly. No. You told me, like, I learned that about AFL a long time ago. It's very interesting.
Me too.
Huge
By
spread,
losing
but money line.
parlays, Cam. That's how I learned, Craig. Because I'm like, this team's a 40-point favorite, and they're only minus 400 on the money line. I'm going to hammer this on a points and a parlay. And then they lose outright. I'm like, what the F just happened, man? And it happens all the time. Like,
Yes, that's their league. Don't look at the money. No, it's very deceptive. I agree. They don't give it away.
No, like it is. Like, guys, you figure money is money. Like, if it's a 25-point spread, basketball, football, AFL, it'd be the same money line. But no, they know AFL is tricky, and weird things can happen. We got Port Adelaide, Sydney, Collingwood, St. Kilda. Listen, the Lions-Cats game is such a good game. Is that the game of the week, or what's another game that we should keep our eye on?
I think, to me, that one probably is the game of the week because they've got a couple. They got 4 teams that are on the bye this week. The other one I think would be GWS and Gold Coast. It's being played up in Sydney. GWS has dropped a couple winnable games as well. They've got a couple significant injuries. I think this is one that the Suns are going to win. On the road, because this is a club that Richmond, who won 3 premierships back in the late teens.
Hold on, Craig. We'll wrap up with Craig on the other side. We got Julio stepping up, and let's roll.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season like 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting 272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, quickest 120 minutes of sports talk and television continues. I am Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. Man, we're just drilling winners tonight. Not every game, but hey, you're not going to go 100% every night. All right, we got to get Craig out of here, but great insight with the AFL. And Craig, before we get you out of here, tell people about yourself. You're unique. There's the popularity of the AFL has grown in North America, obviously. Canada, it's on weekly, it's actually part of the game of the week. There's actually like 2 games a week on TV. So that's one reason why I've gotten to know the league through Mick. And I'm actually able to see the games as well. But you're a Cleveland Brown fan, but what's your big interest with the AFL? How'd you get into it, and where can people find your podcast?
Well, you can find it at a yankonthefooty.com, and it's on every podcast app out there. But I started following the game back in 2016. I'm a teacher and I'm a public address announcer, and I'd get home on Friday nights and turn the TV on and just started seeing the games in 2016, 17, and just kind of fell in love with it organically. And it's taken over. I mean, I watch the Browns mainly like you watch and you drive by.
Yeah, let's be real. That's why you started watching this, because you're a Brown fan. Like,
yeah,
so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Better product.
out of morbid curiosity, I'm a Browns fan. Yeah, but yeah, I fell in love with this game, and I had something interesting. A couple of Aussies actually walked by my house on Tuesday and shot video of my house because I have a cat's flag flying out in front of my house, and they were like, "Okay, this is odd. We're in middle of nowhere, and here's a cat's flag flying out in front of this house." And somebody tagged me in it. I had no idea that that it even happened, and they tagged me in it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's my house." Okay, so, but it was
awesome stuff. See.
Yeah,
slowly but surely you're getting the word out there. All right, great stuff, Craig. It was great catching up with you. We'll definitely do it again. Great insight with the AFL, my man. Thanks for the time.
All right. Thanks, Gabe. I appreciate it, man. Cheers.
All right, great insight. He really knows his stuff. I tell you, that game tonight's really a good one. I'm going to watch that. Geelong and Brisbane coming up this evening, the game of the week in the AFL.
Australian horse racing. It's on late at night, and now I'm hooked. Like, that's the thing. You work a shift. It's 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. It's party time, Gabe. It happens. I just fell into it.
All right, let's bring in Julio here. Although we got a little bit of like Julio. It's like you're in the Himalayas of Peru here with us. We got some real noise going here tonight. What's going on, Julio?
Yeah, it sounds like Julio's got a snake in the room. He's hissing.
It might be these crappy lights in this room, because it's quiet where I am, but it might be these terrible lights.
You got a tanning salon?
You guys are mentioning AFL.
It's the best. Lights making noise. Okay. Sorry, Julio. God,
I'm trying to think.
Don't use hydroponic lights for a TV show.
Seriously, man. Turn down the voltage.
Yeah, no, not good. It is growing season, my apologies.
Yeah.
You guys are mentioning AFL. I was covering Major League Rugby last week. Like, these sports can thrive in the United States. You just have to find the right markets. These sports can thrive. The right market, cheap tickets, cheap beer.
You just gave me a
wrong.
flashback, Julio. Like 2 weeks ago when I went to the BC Lion game, and I saw Snoop Dogg and the Lions, so I was in a stadium all day, and I was pretty lit up. And as you stated, I ended up betting on that Seattle rugby team. You just gave me a flashback. I don't even remember if I won or lost. I got to check my bet from weeks ago. Did I win? You know what I mean? I just got a flashback. But that Major League Rugby stuff, it was on CBS or Fox or something. It was on national TV, actually, Julio. You're right. With all the betting out there and all the networks wanting content, there's room for all these leagues, Julio, point blank.
No, without a doubt. And with Major League Rugby, it was a fun league. It was 2 hours, maybe a 2 hour, 15-minute production, fast pace, hard hitting, right? With no gear. So you're seeing some really good tackling going on. It's a fun sport, and they've got lines up this weekend. I'm taking the Chicago Hounds plus 6.5 against New England Free Jacks. And then the Hounds on the money line plus 175.
I like that Hounds name.
Warriors.
That's a good name. The Chicago Hounds. I like that.
I like that. Yeah, dogs.
Utah Warriors. I think half the teams from Fiji and New Zealand. They're minus 2.5 against the Houston SaberCats, not to be confused with the San Jose SaberCats. May they rest in peace, of the old Arena Football League.
Whoa, Nelly. Now I got a little bit of problems. I laid 10.5 with the Alouettes, and the Edmonton Elks just scored a touchdown on a bomb.
The Elks, baby. Let's go. Yeah.
38-27. Extra point pending right now.
Whoa. Good thing you did. Doesn't matter. You got the teaser in the over. you're like meatloaf. You can't lose. You got 2 out of 3 minimum, maybe 3 out of 3. So it's all good. It's all good. Gabe, that's the whole thing. Tony Finau, all these guys who live in that. Great call by Julio. There's going to be good rugby in that area in Utah. A lot of those guys from the Polynesians and stuff, they all live there. That's the thing, and they're probably really good. It's an interesting point, Julio. Very interesting. They love rugby.
Yeah, it's a fun league. Check it out. ESPN Plus as well. They're streaming it. Check it out. They'll have live lines. It's a fun league. I enjoyed working that league this past year. Plus, who needs baseball when you have rugby, you have volleyball, you have soccer, you've got tennis, you've got international women's basketball, the WNBA. Who needs to sweat out in baseball when you have a smorgasbord of sports this summer?
Paris Saint-Germain lost tonight to Botafogo. PSG loses 1-0, Julio, and I'm sure you saw Messi's brilliant goal earlier in the day. I tell you what, FC Porto guys were up 1-0 early in the game, and if not for Miami's goalie, that goalie on Miami is good, man. Like, he made 3 or 4 stupid, crazy saves. They got really lucky. Like, once they rattled one off, the net was empty, kind of. The goalie was out of position. There was a dude right in front of the net on Porto. He freaking drilled it, but, it smoked a Miami defender in the head. The ball hit the guy's head instead of going in the net. There was another time they drilled it off the post and hit the goalie and nearly went in. And then out of nowhere, Inter Miami scored 2 goals and won the game.
Here we go at Oakmont. Let's start with the course. What do we know about this course? How long is the rough, and does course history come into effect for you this week?
The U.S. Open has always been billed as the most difficult test of golf there is on the planet. And I tell you what, it's often labeled as the most difficult golf course in the world is Oakmont.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
We don't want you playing here. Can you move positions? Do something else. He starts the season 0 for 150, it felt like, and finally finds himself in a groove at the plate, hitting .272. 15 home runs on the season? Now he's shipped to San Francisco.
What is management going to do? Nobody who's paying you $313.5 million is going to hear anything from you. They'll figure out a way to get rid of you, and that's exactly what they did.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Every 5 days, it's really exciting when Skeens pitches, and it's terrible watching him pitch because every time he pitches, they don't score.
Having him hit the lineup probably would actually help when he pitches. There's no way to do it because you can't, but yeah, it's beyond frustrating. And the numbers will tell you, the books have adjusted.
Pharrell coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Let's do this thing. We got Julio in the house with us, and Julio's a big soccer guy. You guys know I've been loving this stuff, and we've been doing very well with all these soccer bets. Well, we hit tonight. We just hit Saudi Arabia plus 1.5 against the USA. But tomorrow's card is fun in the FIFA Club World Cup. Listen, Benfica are playing Auckland City. Benfica got the draw in their first game, so they need to get the 3 points. They will. They're playing an amateur team. They just happen to qualify. It's like the feel-good story team, but they got murdered 10-0 by Bayern Munich. I don't think Benfica will get 10 on them, but I got them in a parlay -4.5. It's 6.5. They probably win like 7-0. So I would go up to the 6.5. I think they probably win 7-0. But then it gets good. And guys, Flamengo versus Chelsea. Chelsea did not look like overwhelming against LAFC. And in fact, if LAFC could have finished and put the ball in the net, they would have won the game. And this is coming from someone to bet on Chelsea and watch the match. I think Flamengo are live tomorrow at +275 against Chelsea, -105. LAFC played well, actually, against Chelsea. They're -118 favorites against Esperance de Tunis from Turkey. Rare to see an MLS team favored in this, but I think LAFC are actually going to get it done tomorrow. And the nightcap tomorrow night should be a fun one. There'll be a million yellow cards. It's going to be a rough game. Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors from Argentina. Should be noted, though, the Boca players went crazy. They went loco and tried to attack the referee during the VAR, and 3 of their players are suspended for this game. So they were already in tough against Bayern, but I think Bayern are going to beat them. What do you got for us tomorrow, Julio, in soccer?
We're going to go Flamengo +1 against Chelsea. That's -125. Also on the money line +270. You're talking off air, and I love the angle. I think the South American teams are going to do well from Brazil and Argentina. These young guys are trying to showcase against to these European clubs. I'm going to plug my nose and take under 5.5 in the Orlando Heat in the Benfica match. I'm going to roll the dice 80-1 Bocas to win the Club World Cup. Fluminense 66-1, and Bayern Munich for the big club 6-1 to win the Club World Cup. Jamaica clean sheet +110. Canada clean sheet against Curacao -138, and then like I said in the rugby, Chicago Hounds +6.5 money line +175.
Imagine booking this guy's
Utah
action
Warriors
game.
Yeah, he can't be old school, writing it down on the pad. I'd be like, slow down, slow down.
I'm like, what league is this from? Who are you betting? I don't have these things available.
The Chicago Hounds. Yeah, you're not getting that at any bar. You go to a Bogota in the Bronx, they're not giving you any Chicago Hound bets, bro.
Chicago Hounds. Like, there's a bunch of kids playing in the back.
Chicago Hounds +7.5. I like that. Chicago. That's a great name, though. All right, Ken. The golf. This is a crazy. The crazy number is Scotty Scheffler is a -120 favorite to win a tournament right now. Rory is +700. Keegan Bradley, who you liked, I liked him too. He's 18-1 right now. But at this point, it's almost like, if Scotty Scheffler's playing this well and he wants to win, he's going to win. But he's -120. That's insane after one round.
This is the thing. You can either take Scheffler at 120 because usually he's a closer, not a starter. But if anybody else goes on a run and he slips to like anywhere between like 4 and 8, you'll get plus money. So if you want him now, but then again, he could be leading in the 4th round again. Then he'll be -800 and then you're screwed. So there's ways to approach this. I would wait off. See how the early guys, when they tee off, if you could slip down, you can get like a +180 or 2-1, then you can hit the trigger. I don't want to lay juice in a golf tournament. I don't even care if it's Scheffler.
No, like at -120. I'd do this if he had an 8-shot lead or something crazy like that.
Yes,
like, you know what I mean? -120 after one round, guys. But you could argue there's value on anybody else, like everybody else, really.
Take a look at Bradley's 2 back. Take a look at all the good players. All the chalk guys did well today. All 4 under and better. Hovland played well. All my guys, all of Fleetwood played well. Like a lot of guys who are top of the betting board actually did well, and that's surprising. So, no, we have a wide open tournament, man. This is no joke. Scheffler hit a lot of putts today, but 120, I think we can do better.
Here's my my dart toss here for the Travelers. Give me Nick Taylor at 90-1.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Nick Taylor. When he's in contention, he closes the deal. The guy hits big putts and whatever, so 90-1 on Nick Taylor is a very good price.
See, he's 4 shots off the pace right now. 90-1 for Nick Taylor. All right, good to see you, Julio. We'll be back for the Freak Show tomorrow. Football, soccer, Let's Rage, Game 7, NBA Finals. Other than that, you're on your own later.
25th at 7:30 p.m. Ditch the guesswork. Ben Stevens, Kevin Walsh, James Young, and Tom Vecchio have your